Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. Today, we are continuing our ongoing coverage of the civil war taking place inside of the former state of Ethiopia. And today we continue to see heavy fighting taking place in the West Shiwa zone, just to the west of Addis Ababa. A lot of the fighting that is taking place is again between the forces of the Oromo Liberation Army and those forces allied with Abiy Ahmed, the current warlord in chief of the former state of Ethiopia, and his principal power base within the confines of Addis Ababa. Now we've continued to see this reported counteroffensive to reopen main arterial routes into the capital in the western areas, predominantly the A4 highway, the A5 highway, and to relieve the continued siege of Ambo and many other towns and villages to the west of Addis Ababa. Now, what we're starting to hear is that the OLA, the Oromo Liberation Army, may have launched a new offensive, this time directly into the Amhara region, the southern Amhara region. We believe that units of the OLA have infiltrated into the southern Amhara region along the main A2 highway leading to the north from Debre Berhan to Shia Robot. There is reports of very heavy fighting taking place very close to the town of Shia Robot. And as we recall, back in other conflicts in this area, this was roughly the furthest extent just to the south of here towards Debre Sina that the Tigrayan Defense Forces had made its way into the Amhara region during that massive counter-invasion where we observed the TDF crossing the Tigrayan border, seizing control of Kobo, Weldia, Mersa, and then finally culminating in the seizure of Dese and Kombolcha, and then meeting up with OLA forces in Kamise. So we know the OLA have operated in the southern Amhara region previously, especially near Kamise and Ataye. But today, as this conflict continues, with some of the heaviest fighting taking place to the west of Addis Ababa, it would appear that the OLA could be conducting some sort of diversionary operation more to the northeast of Addis Ababa, with again reports of heavy fighting taking place in the area near Shia Robot. We would also have to expect that the OLA could in fact cut off the main route, and probably has cut off the main route from Shia Robot along the A2 highway towards the capital, and obviously the city of Debre Berhan to the northeast of the capital. So this appears to be, again, more of that anaconda strategy now that the Oromo Liberation Army is applying to the main power base of Abiy Ahmed. And right now we're looking at the A4 highway, the A5 highway, and now quite possibly the A2 highway being cut off towards Addis Ababa by the Oromo Liberation Army. We're hearing that this counteroffensive by the Abiy loyalist formations in the direction of Ambo and the West Shia zone have not been successful, and they've had to call in even more reinforcements to fight against the Oromo Liberation Army in this area. And with the this new operation by the OLA in the direction towards Debre Berhan and Shia Robot, this makes things even more complicated for the ENDF and the Abiy loyalist formations. I would say at this point, the ENDF and Abiy Ahmed have to be extremely concerned that if the Tigrayan Defense Forces were to launch an operation coming out of the Tigray region, we could see a very large contingent of the ENDF, the Abiy loyalists that are currently based near Kobo, Lalibela, Sakota, and Weldia, at some point become completely surrounded and entrapped in between the Tigrayan Defense Forces and the forces of the Oromo Liberation Army to the south. So fairly precarious situation right now for the ENDF and Abiy Ahmed if, in fact, the Tigrayan Defense Forces were to choose to launch a renewed operation. As we know, the Anaconda strategy is still in full effect. While there is still limited supplies being brought into the Tigray region, it is still not enough to alleviate the ongoing suffering that continues to plague the Tigray region with this Anaconda strategy that Amhara regional militias, the Tigrayan Defense Forces, the Eritrean Army, and the ENDF continues to operate this siege mentality against the Tigray region. But we'll have to see what happens from here. There's also another report, or a new report coming out of the region that would indicate that economic aid meant for the northern parts of Ethiopia may in fact be going to the despotic state of Eritrea. So if you are a U.S. taxpayer and the United States is sending economic aid, that would be tantamount to another nation that the U.S. Provides economic aid to then giving that economic aid to such as a despotic state such as North Korea. And yeah, you can absolutely compare and contrast the dictatorship that exists in Eritrea to the one that exists in North Korea. They operate very much in terms of the same methodology and in terms of how they oppress the citizenry of that nation state or both nation states. But a very, very interesting tidbit of information that could lead the United States to reconsider both additional sanctions and the limiting of continued aid to the Abiy Ahmed regime, if in fact we can validate that some of that aid, some of that money that has been sent to Abiy Ahmed is in fact going to the despotic state of Eritrea as well. So very interesting, and we'll continue to follow that and seek information as that continues to become available. But we will continue to watch and report on this ongoing conflict and bring it to you, the viewer. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.